Welcome to the Designated Drinkers Podcast. Sit back and enjoy the ride.
So you can shut the fuck up, you punk ass bitch!
Watch your profanity.
Hey guys, welcome to the Designated Drinkers Podcast. My name is Carlo.
Tom.
Darian.
And joining us again, our special guest,
Steve.
Combo mouth.
Combo Mouth. That's right. Thanks
really
again
good.
for joining us, Steve. We're glad you're here today. And
I like you anyway.
so what's up, guys? How's it going? How you guys been?
From
Ever
the
since
last
I last
time
saw
you
you
had?
last
I got
week.
to clean all that beer off my arm.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm here. I could be playing Stardew Valley right now, but
You could be, but you're
I
not.
could too.
Or Far Cry 5. I gotta kill some white people.
What are you playing?
Far Cry 5.
Oh, Far Cry 5. That's right.
One based in America. Kill him.
How is it? Is it good?
It takes a little bit to get used to the controls.
I haven't played Far Cry in a long time.
But once you actually start playing it, it just grabs you right there.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
hey,
It's not like the last one in India, I didn't play the Primal one where it was
That was like the Stone Age
Neanderthal.
one.
Yeah, I didn't play that one. The last one I played was 4, which was in India, where that one was kind of a shit show. It kind of just threw you in. I think it was trying to go off of how good Far Cry 3 was.
I heard the Far Cry 4 was really good. Like everybody
Yeah.
loved Far Cry 4.
I wasn't a
So
fan.
you told me that. I'm surprised.
I didn't like it either.
I didn't. It just threw you in. It didn't give you a tutorial. Like if somebody
The funny thing about
if
this,
Steve bought it was like, oh, I'm gonna get the latest Far
Yeah.
Cry, and it just throws you in. You don't know how. It just says, oh, you just.
but you're an experienced gamer. I
Yeah.
think it.
Yeah,
it-
but I mean,
it-
like,
I think it falls.
I kind of,
that.
on one hand, I kind of like that. Like playing. So my daughter's 4, and we've been playing video games a lot lately. I started out with she wanted to play Zelda, and
What
she
one?
was like, well, we were going through options, and she saw Majora's Mask, and she was like, I want to play that. I was like, okay, that's cool. So we started playing
picked
that.
one of the toughest ones.
I
too.
know, right? So
Majora's Mask
she was
is really
playing
tough.
that, and she's like, she's liking it. And then,
because that time frame will kill you.
oh yeah,
it's
definitely,
so hard.
definitely,
and
definitely.
you have to figure out
And
the
I'm
day.
like, I'm
you
like
have to,
trying
meet
not
people.
to be real, overbearing with it. Like, just help her when she asks me to and stuff. And she can't read real good or anything yet.
Yeah.
So it's like I got to read most of it for her, and it's it's good. But then she saw, I guess she hadn't noticed Wind Waker, and she saw that, and she was like, I want to play with the one with the boat. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna argue with that. So she's been playing that, and she is loving it. Like, she's having a really good time playing that.
That's awesome.
But for me, it's like, oh my gosh, it just holds your hand so much. Like, I do kind of, so I, a few months ago, I started playing PUBG, and it's like, there you go. That's a game that doesn't hold your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they kind of really royally fucked up on Xbox.
Yeah.
It's not
It's
good
not
on
play.
Xbox at all.
It's not playable
Yeah.
on Xbox.
Huh. Wow. I've only
Because-
played it on PC.
Yeah, he was telling
Sorry.
You're good.
he was telling me that it's
Apparently,
I
it's
guess
totally
it's really
different.
great on
It's
PC.
totally different.
Really?
Well,
I
because-
love it.
So the game itself on Xbox, and they were selling it as part of the Xbox One X bundle, which is
Really?
not a great game to showcase the
No.
graphics for the
Yeah,
Xbox
it's
One X.
not.
But what the game does is it renders as you're moving, which is not good for a multiplayer game like that.
No.
So what happens is, I guess what a lot of people's issues are, right, especially right now with PUBG on the console itself, is that you're on a car, and all of a sudden,
It'll
it renders 5 frames before.
Okay.
So you'll be in a fast car, and all of a sudden, you'll go, and then the game will render the building in front of you.
Okay.
And you'll be inside the building,
Okay.
and you'll be stuck in a wall,
I kind of get that.
or you'll be
All
stuck
right.
in a crate, and it'll have rendered the crate with you inside it
Yeah,
all of a sudden,
yeah.
and then people are having a bunch of issues with that.
Wow.
So it's not worth it on the Xbox.
Wow, that's
I think they had it
that's
free for a
bummer.
weekend, and we all tried it.
Yeah, we all tried
Really?
it. We didn't like it. It sucked.
I mean,
Because it's fun. I
like Fortnite.
really like it.
Unfortunately, I don't like the building aspect of it,
Okay.
and I think it's very PUBG in the fact that it's got that play style, but then you had all the fucking building and stuff,
Yeah.
and then I'm out of it.
I've not played that.
I do
at
like
all.
the concept of PUBG.
Me too. Me too.
Like, I wish that they would make it better for the Xbox.
Yeah.
Like, they'd update it so this way it doesn't do that. And
Also,
then I would totally buy it.
The graphics are really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
they're
not
not
that bad.
I thought they were
But, I mean,
really
we're
bad.
also playing a game that's,
Okay, see, that's the like I was explaining stuff
what is
like
that,
that
8-bit
to
or something?
my daughter. I was explaining to my
Stardew
daughter the other day
Stardew Valley
how
and 8-bit?
like you can take Majora's Mask, which at the time looked amazing. I
Yeah.
remember when that game came out, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is freaking beautiful!"
and now it looks like shit.
yeah,
It's like-
But then you look at Wind Waker, and it's like, back then it was like, this is kind of weird. This is a weird art direction they went with. But they were freaking geniuses because it's timeless. It still looks beautiful today.
Yeah.
It looks absolutely gorgeous because of the simplicity of it.
Well, I just started playing Ocarina of Time on the DS.
Yeah.
That's the remastered version.
That's-
by the
yeah.
way.
yeah, no, I know, but it's such a good game. Like,
It is. It really
I
is.
fucking love that game.
So, you reminded me of the fact that you said that the Wind Waker holds your hand a lot,
Yeah.
and I think that I used to be a very big avid Pokemon player. I used to love the games,
Yeah.
love the gameplay, and I played competitively a lot,
That's cool.
like a lot. I loved it. Like I sunk like 300 or 400
It's
hours.
all
of
it's all in the
Pokemon.
meta. It's all in
Yeah.
the meta game.
Yeah,
you
totally.
know?
It's completely in the metagame. But my issue with it is the fact that, like, I did that, and then the new games came out, like X and Y. Like I said, I think I sunk in like maybe 200 to 300 hours into that game altogether.
Wow.
It's a lot. It was a lot for me, especially because I
Those
wasn't
were
into that.
I really enjoyed those
Yeah,
too. Like,
and then
I liked them.
and then
a lot.
Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire came out, and it felt like they were holding my hand more.
Okay.
And then the newer
Sun
ones
and
came
Moon.
out. Sun and Moon came out, and those were very much veered towards children.
Yeah.
And I was bored. I
So
beat it.
even the show is like much more like cartoony looking
Yeah.
than than they
I saw
have
that,
been
yeah.
previously. My kids love it. I mean they
and
do.
it's
They're
really,
doing
it's
they're
geared,
doing a
it's
good
geared
job.
To, it's geared to a different age,
Yeah,
and I get that.
yeah.
But the Pokemon games, like I've never not beat a Pokemon game
Yeah.
until what was it? Sun and Moon, and then they did the newer Sun and Moon one, like Rainbow or
Yeah.
or Mega Sun and Moon. Stuff. I don't even remember the name of it. Like
I
that's
don't-
how
I
like
don't know,
Joe
yeah.
gave it to me for free. He said, "This kid gave me this game. Here you go. Do you want it? Because I don't want to play this game." And Joe used to be super into Pokemon like me.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to play this. And I was like, yeah, I'll give it a try. I played maybe 30 minutes of it, and I was like, I'm bored. Like, I barely played Pokemon. Everyone has been talking the entire time. I do not want to play this game. And I put it
Yeah.
down.
Wow.
And I was very
Wow.
mad about it.
I haven't
and I'm
played
probably gonna
I
sell
haven't
it because it's
played a
$30.
Pokemon game since X and Y. That was the last one I did.
X and Y was the best one.
I liked
And
it.
I'm not even talking
Going
about
back
the
to
older
Game Boy.
ones.
So my experience with Pokemon is very different. I got my Game Boy when Pokemon came out.
Yeah.
Actually, just before Pokemon came out, I got my Game Boy, and the only game I had was Super Mario Land for the Game Boy, and that was a rough game. I got a Game Boy Pocket when it first came out. That's
That's
what I
a
had.
that's a
Pocket.
game that you would throw at the wall,
Right.
If you
Yeah.
if you didn't have
I
patience
still
as
have
a kid.
it. I still have it.
Yeah.
but
Wasn't
yeah.
the Game Boy Pocket the small one?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
small one. I've
It
never
was-
seen the Game Boy
It
Pocket.
fit in your pocket.
Yeah.
It was
well,
a small one.
They made
So the
like a
Game Boy,
really
the original
miniature
Game Boy was what like it
Yeah,
was like
it was
about that
yellow.
big.
Yeah,
and
it
it was
was
like,
bi-
fuck
it was-
this.
yeah, I remember the
I
huge
actually got
ones.
one a few
Then
years
I remember
later.
the color.
I got the original Game Boy, the
Me
brick.
too.
It was big.
Yeah,
it was a
it's huge.
big sucker.
And then you have the color, which added the fucking backlight, and that was my favorite.
But that
one.
was after the pocket, and then
Yeah.
the color.
Well, I had the big one, and then I got traded to the smaller
color.
one, the color.
Yeah.
And then I got the advanced.
Yeah, the advanced.
The advanced SP, which was like
Okay.
the flip one. Like, it was
Yeah.
like a flip phone.
I didn't
and it
like
had
the
light.
SP that much,
I-
but
I-
the backlight was nice on that.
I still,
though.
yeah, I was. I still, you know what's funny? I still have it at my parents. My sister, my autistic sister, loves it.
Yeah. Oh, that's
she
cool.
loves it.
Good
She
for
Oh,
her.
plays.
yeah?
She plays. Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers.
That's a Game Boy Pocket. It's
Yeah.
like,
Let me see.
Mine was green.
Oh yeah,
It was,
okay.
it was
Wait,
really.
I thought that was the color.
Maybe
the
you know
co-
what? I might have
The
had
color
the.
was the translucent one.
Translucent.
Instead of the plastic
Like- oh,
being
like-
a
Yeah.
solid color,
You could see the
they
the
had
insides.
they
of
had
it.
a couple of them that
Oh,
were
then I think I
solid
had the
color.
pocket then.
Did you guys hear that Nintendo announced Nintendo 64 Mini?
I did. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
But what games are going to be on it? Because there was a lot of good games for the
yeah, but the
64.
thing, like for example, I can tell you definitely they're not gonna have GoldenEye.
Yeah. Well, that's like rights issues.
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah. Xbox owns the rights to that, which is a bummer. And from what I hear, though, like Xbox has been playing nice with a lot of companies,
Yeah.
so we might see GoldenEye in there, but I'm not.
I mean,
sure.
that's one of the most important games on the Nintendo 64.
yes.
Yeah. Was golden.
Besides
The
Pokemon
original Call of Duty.
Snap. Besides Pokemon
Was
Snap.
that on the Nintendo 64? Call of Duty?
No, I
Oh,
said that GoldenEye
It's
was.
like, I don't
The
remember
the
Call
original
of Duty.
Call of Duty?
Yeah,
is what I'm saying.
GoldenEye was
Yeah.
the original Call.
That
of
was
Duty.
a good. That was.
You know what you guys should do is you guys should get better computers, and then
Seriously.
You
They-
mean
there's
I
Gol-
need to get a
Yeah.
computer?
There's GoldenEye. There's GoldenEye online still. Like you can play the old GoldenEye
Oh yeah.
against each other on the computer.
It's-
It's hosted in servers, all out there. I was watching a Let's Play by Achievement Hunter, and it was one of the fucking funniest things I've seen in a while. Like people playing GoldenEye and screaming at each other, and
So,
they did
like-
like a slap fight.
So like,
Oh, yeah.
talking about bootleg online games. There was a little while ago, a couple years ago, there was a Halo Online.
Not a couple of years. It just happened again.
Did it really?
Yes, it
So
just
this
happened
one was
again.
based in China, and it was so like janky. It was really cool though. It was really cool because it's like, I mean, playing it on the PC, it's like, oh my gosh, I want to play Halo on the PC so bad.
Right.
I wish that they would. I wish because I loved. The reason I bought my original Xbox was Halo, and I loved that game. I played so much of that game.
was
It was
such a good game.
such a fun game. And then the reason I bought my 360 when that came out was Reach. I played Halo Reach on there.
Reach
And
was
I-
amazing.
That
Yeah.
was so good. But I haven't played a Halo game since then.
Since no, me neither.
I take that back. I played five. Five?
I think I
Five.
did 5.
I played 5. I got halfway through it, and I was like, nah, screw this. I'm done.
Yeah,
I have,
I
a
think
I have a question. When are they supposed to release that 64?
that's probably not gonna happen till maybe the end of the year,
Because
or maybe next
Maybe
year.
even like beginning 19.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I really want another fucking Nintendo 64, like bad.
And the worst part about it is I bought Ashley a Nintendo 64, like back there. It's the green one back there. Like, I bought it for her birthday last year or 2 years ago. I don't remember. And I bought a bunch of games with it. But the Nintendo 64 games are expensive.
They are.
They're
Especially the
super
good ones. Especially
yeah,
the
like
good ones.
you can, like, yeah, especially the good ones. Like Mario 64. I think Joe and I ended up buying that in Peru because there was more of them.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of them. But
Just as a for instance, I had a 64 and then the Wii came out, and I was stupid because I was
Don't say it.
no. Well, I mean, what? When did the Wii come out? When we were in
2006.
middle school or some shit?
no, came out in
2006.
2006. I guess we were in middle
Yeah,
school when
middle
that happened.
school.
Yep.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
I just thought about
I didn't
that.
have it till about high school.
You're old, Steve. Get over it.
I know.
Okay, so here's the deal. So the Wii came out, and I was like, "Oh, that looks cool. I could do all this stuff with the controller." Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Wii
So-
bowling.
I didn't have any money, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna take my 64 and I'm gonna trade it in and get money for it." So I traded in, and the worst part is I should have, being a stupid kid, I should have thought about it. But I had this Doom. You remember Doom for the 64,
Yeah.
right?
Doom 64, yeah.
I had the fucking Chinese edition, and I didn't even realize it.
Nope.
That they paid more for that game than I paid for it when I bought it. And I bought that 64 from the same fucking place.
It's funny that you say that, but you have to think about it this way. You're like, in hindsight, you're like, I really wish I would have known that. But as a kid, you're not thinking
Yeah.
that. You're not
Yeah.
thinking that at all because
Yeah.
I've done
You
the
got-
same. I've done the same shit.
I mean, it's value,
I would still
As
have
a-
it if I didn't.
But as a 14-year-old kid, like, was
Right.
that important to you then? Like having like
nobody knew that your laminated Charizard card was going to be worth $6,000 today.
Yeah.
all
Well-
of my Pokemon cards were stolen in 4th grade
That
by
sucks.
some kid. Yeah, they were in my backpack.
Fuck
What's
you,
his
little
name?
Johnny.
Wait,
I
hold on,
know,
hold on.
right? Like,
Do we
I had
know
a
his
freaking.
name?
I don't know who it was.
It's Johnny.
They were in my backpack, and we my backpack was. We were waiting for the bus, and we were all playing on the playground, and some little douchebag stole all my Pokemon cards.
Would you recognize his face?
I didn't see.
No,
the
he didn't
person.
see him.
I'm about to say, let's break that yearbook out and go jump
I
his
was,
ass.
I was.
Do we need to
fighting
get
with
a
some kid
sketch
on the jungle
artist?
gym. I don't know who it was. No, we
Show
were.
us on this
we were
doll
having a-
where he touched you.
Yeah, he touched me on my Pokemon cards.
I think you just named the name of this. I think you just named this episode too.
He
just
touched
so
me
you
on
know.
my Pokemon cards.
But
but it's
We're
okay.
gonna go
So
jump his
again,
ass.
back to my relationship with Pokemon. Just after that is when I.
You know, it really felt like you were about to tell a deep story, right?
I mean,
there.
I am.
You literally
no,
went-
I'm gonna cry. I might cry in this
Yeah, okay,
story.
well,
okay,
like
go ahead, go
I
ahead.
wish I wouldn't have sold my 64. I miss it that much.
yeah,
it was
definitely.
That
It was
like
actually-
my
So-
favorite system.
So like I bought, I got Pokemon when it finally came out, and it was like, oh my gosh, because we watched the show and stuff, and it was like, this is awesome. We got Pokemon.
Show was amazing.
Yeah.
loved
All
it.
my buddies, we all were playing Pokemon and stuff. It was great. We all started buying cards and stuff, and it was awesome.
I would watch the show. Sorry, I would watch the show every Thursday or every
Yeah.
Saturday night, like every
On,
thought it was-
on
came
Fox
out.
Kids or whatever. Yeah,
I thought it came out on Thursdays.
I don't remember, man.
I can't remember.
I think it was-
I just know that that was the only time my mom would let me stay up late at night before I had to go to bed because
watch.
I would watch Pokemon because I would watch Pokemon, and then she'd be like, "All right, you gotta go to bed now."
Okay, so
Bye bye Butterfree.
I'm gonna.
Damn.
It's worse. It's worse. So, my mom was friends with this woman, and I don't know if you've ever heard, if you know anything about the fundamentalist Christian
Oh
vendetta against Pokemon.
Oh no!
What?
I'm so sorry.
Wait,
I'm
what?
so sorry, Steve.
This woman told my mom that Pokemon was evil.
No.
What?
No.
Yeah, you didn't hear about
and she
that?
gave her this video and a book, and my mom burned all my Pokemon stuff.
What? No.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'd run away
so
from
that's
home.
Sorry.
this is the only
I'd run away
reason
from home.
that I'm okay with my cards getting stolen, because they at least went
to a better place.
went to someone who cared about them. I remember, what little I had left after them all being stolen, and my games and my books and all that stuff
my
being
gosh.
thrown in a
The games
50-gallon
too?
drum
Everything.
full of fire.
That sucks.
I would run away from home. I know why now kids kill their parents.
This has turned into a therapy session by the designated
Dude, that
drinkers.
sucks.
Holy balls, it was bad. I was very upset.
Didn't the Pope have to go on record? Something happened. I remember this. It was a big deal.
This is
to
the
the point
first
where
I'm
the
hearing
Pope was
this.
he took a look at it and he's like,
This is
"No,
not.
they're fine.
This is
this is
totally
not
cool.
evil. It's fine. It's just a kids show."
Yeah, it was garbage city. That
That
sucks.
sucks.
Pokemon Stadium 64.
If you were to ask your
Oh
parent,
my
if you
God,
so good.
Pokemon
If you were to
Stadium.
ask your parents now, if you were to ask your mom now, "Hey mom, do you remember when you burned all my Pokemon stuff? Would you still do that today?" What would you think what she'd say? What she would say?
We talked about it. Okay, so
Have you forgiven
about
her?
a yeah, I have. So about a
took a
year
long
Let's
ago,
be
time.
honest.
about a
therapy.
year ago, some of my cousins were in town and stuff when we were all talking, and actually it was for a wedding, I think. Maybe so it was 2 years ago now. We were, my cousin and I were talking, and it was while we were getting ready for the wedding at my parents' house. So we're working on stuff, and we're talking about, just whatever. And I brought up Pokemon, and we were talking about Pokemon and stuff, and I was like, yeah, I remember when my mom burned all of my Pokemon cards and my games. And he was like, oh my gosh, I remember when all of that happened, all that stuff. He was getting into doing art at the time. Okay, about that time, and he was drawing a lot and stuff. And he said he remembers, about that same time, he had drawn this picture, and it was a little dark, looking. The subject matter. I don't know what it was. It was just kind of emotionally dark. And he said his mom not only burned it, but told him that it was bad that he was drawing that. Something, it was just melancholy. Not even Hot Topic, like, you know, like, no, it was just like a picture. Probably he was probably channeling some sort of depression that was,
Yeah.
you know, and like he said, it was the most like damaging thing that anyone had ever said to him was that, you know, what you are putting onto this page is bad.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know? And it was like, yeah. And he said, I think he said he had drawn like some Pokemon stuff too. And it was the same kind of thing where it was like, no, this is bad. And like, all, yeah, yeah. And like, I was like, yeah, this is something that I have poured, you know, hours of my life as a child into. And you're telling me that it's not only is it, you know, not good, it's evil. Like,
Right, yeah.
It's worthy of being burned in a fire.
Does your family just like burning stuff? Is
No,
that
I mean, like, yeah, but like, they heat their house with wood, so like, yeah, but no, I mean, it just was that was like, and like, I remember one time there was this same lady, all kinds of stuff where you know, stuff that I did. She would like find something where, oh yeah, that's, you know, that's evil, like, and like I would be made to like feel
Some
like
people
a
are just
jerk.
like that.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
It's ridiculous.
Thankfully, my
Yeah.
mom's you know, she's not very as easily
Gullible.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly, susceptible to that type of stuff now. She's kind of learned that that's
There's
Come on.
There's a few bad apples in those trees, right?
there's a lot of bad apples. I mean, like, unfortunately there is. And that's something, so as a part of the church, that's something that I feel very strongly about, is calling out people who are doing things wrong. So like that, like if somebody was telling me right now that something that my kids were interested in is bad, I would I would do my due diligence as a parent and find out, you know,
What it
you know,
is.
yeah, look at it and see what's going on here. And then I'd have some common sense about it.
Yeah.
And if it's not, I'd tell that person, hey, you're not only are you, you know, potentially ruining relationships between parents and children, you're doing something that's like incredibly bad. Like, that is destructive. That's
how Hitler
incredibly
was made.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, right? Like, I mean, thank
wanted to be
God,
an artist.
thank God that I have a good enough relationship with my parents that didn't like that didn't
Destroy it?
destroy me. Yeah, and
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
like, we could have been. I could hate my parents right now because of that. I mean, shoot, I remember one time I downloaded an emulator on my computer to play Pokemon. Oh, okay. So like,
I remember.
I never got to play Gold and Silver.
I mean, either.
I was like, oh my gosh, Gold and Silver! I
Yeah,
can't wait.
never
you know,
played Gold and
we
Silver.
poured over the Nintendo Power issues that would have like previews for Gold and Silver and what was going to happen. By the time that game came out, I wasn't allowed to play Pokemon anymore.
That sucks.
I remember downloading an emulator, and we had a kid from Thailand that lived with us for a few years, and like,
You had a
Foster kid.
no,
an
his
exciting
parents.
life.
Oh yeah, well yeah. I mean, it was pretty interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. Like an exchange student.
Oh, yeah,
his
yeah, my bad.
parents started a church in Thailand, and they came over here to go to Ashland Theological Seminary and to get their PhD
Yeah, okay.
in theology. So they did that, and then they went back to Thailand, and their kids, two of their kids, stayed because he was in high school at the time,
Uh-huh.
and they wanted him to
Finish it out.
finish
Finish
his,
up,
finish
yeah.
his education and stuff.
Okay,
And
okay.
their daughter went to Case. So like, they were here. He stayed with us.
So what the parents
And-
just went up to your parents and was like, "Hey, can my kid stay with you?"
I mean,
guys?"
they had, you know, at the church they'd said they were looking for somebody to, you know, whatever, and my parents were like, yeah, sure, we'll do it.
Oh, okay, okay.
So he stayed with us. He and I didn't get along real well some of the time. You know,
Really?
not all the time, but like there were some times where he
So
was
most
like
of the
mad
time?
at me, and like, because I was a little young, a couple years younger than him, and like I didn't like the way he did a lot of stuff, and then I found out like some other stuff later on that really I didn't like, but like that's neither here nor there. But he told my parents that I had downloaded.
Oh, what a
He
dick!
ratted you out.
He's a snitch.
Yeah.
Did you give him stitches?
When he had a Game Boy Color and was playing Pokemon,
Right.
on his
Do-
Game Boy.
Do me a favor, tilt that up a little.
Where am I at? Oh, okay.
Yeah, mainly because you're leaning up, and that's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
You're not my real dad.
You know, my real dad, Junkins something.
His name was David.
Oh,
His name was David.
So,
I
so
feel like
wait,
a worse
wait.
piece of shit now, to tell you the truth.
yeah.
Let's,
Well, I
let's
mean,
talk
like,
about a more important point here.
Yeah.
So he was from Thailand.
yeah.
And he had the whitest name in Thailand.
I mean,
ever.
okay. So his dad was from China, and was raised in China and then moved to Thailand, I think. And his mom actually, her father, at one point was the prime minister of Thailand.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Damn.
Wait.
Yeah.
So this is just out of curiosity. What do you call somebody from Thailand?
Thai.
Thai.
It's just Thai?
Yeah.
Huh.
I always thought that was
We're
like an
lady boys.
abbreviation. I didn't know.
No,
if it
it
Yeah,
was,
that's it.
Thai.
I
Yeah.
thought like Thailandese or.
You know what? It would have been really funny. We should have given him wrong information.
That would have been great.
Oh, what do you call somebody from Thailand? Well, you usually refer to them as Thai, but the whole thing is like Taiwan son.
I thought that you were gonna say lady boys.
I did say lady boys on here. I was like,
Hey,
lady boys.
so I do want to do something. Mainly because I think it.
Oh, we didn't do the.
We didn't do the icebreaker, even though we don't need an icebreaker. We've been having good conversation, but I
Oops.
think it's good to. I think I want to start with the Ask Reddit questions. Okay, are you guys cool with that?
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
do
Why don't we just call it the make up a name for the segment instead of
Alright.
icebreaker?
Oh, because I don't know what the name of it would be. So shut up.
How about Firebreaker?
Well,
Do the
that's why I'm
opposite.
saying come up with one.
I got a good one.
We
Here you
gotta
go.
come up with ideas.
Better
All
be a
right,
good
so the Ask Reddit question for the day is: besides new car smell, what is a smell that you can't describe but really enjoy?
I know Tom's.
Can I go first?
Tom's is black ice. Also known as
Oh,
black eyes.
Oh yeah. For me, it's a new board game or a new card game. The moment I open
Yeah.
up a new board game, like the first thing I fucking
It's like
do, it's
that
weird.
fresh from the printer.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
Yeah.
I open it up and then I sniff the box, and it is my favorite thing to do when I buy a new board game
I got a couple.
or a new card game. Yeah, man, I fucking love it.
I like new book smell. If you still read books.
That's because
phone.
of the glue.
Yep. Like when you get a new phone and you get it out of the box. How it's
Okay, it's
smells
around the
yeah.
same as new board game, to tell you the
And,
truth.
and new video game smell,
Okay, I've
Yep.
got a couple.
which is the same.
Same.
One of them is a bad smell that I like. I mean, I don't like, but is
You enjoy.
like I don't enjoy it at all.
Farts.
But
Oh.
like it's
Queefs.
whatever.
dog.
And then I have a I guess some people could say a good smell that is really like has triggers very bad memories.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What
So
is
number
it?
one, first one is I'm in again wastewater treatment. When say you have a septic system or a wastewater treatment plant that hasn't been working, hasn't had
Oh, God.
oxygen added to it, it turns septic. All the good bacteria dies off in it. When you start adding oxygen to it, it starts kicking up a lot of the like smell into the air. But that smell is telling you it's going to start working soon, and it's disgusting. But it's like I told one of the guys the one day, this is the smell of success. This is victory. We got this thing working. It's doing what it's supposed
awesome.
to. It smells terrible, but it's going to be good. Like things are going to start looking up now. The other one is 1 year I was at where was I? It was at Cedar Point, I think, and there was like a steak on a stick like thing. Yeah, and like
That's never a good
it
choice.
was underneath the mantis, which I think is now the Rougarou.
Yeah,
they
it is. They
changed it.
changed it mainly because they kept getting sued about people's nuts being crushed.
Oh,
really?
okay.
I
It's
don't
not,
know. I don't know
it's
about
the
that.
same though, isn't it? I think it's.
Oh no,
No.
you don't have to stand up.
Oh,
anymore.
it's not standing up anymore.
Yeah,
okay.
it's not standing up anymore.
So I was on the mantis.
What do you think they call it, the mantis though? Like seriously.
Why?
It's
Because
because you
the
can't
man-
have kids after you fucking ride it. That seat's so jacked up your
thank you.
nutsack.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Um,
dude, it was a really uncomfortable ride.
So there was
It was
Never went
fun.
on
a
really
steak on
uncomfortable.
a stick, like I don't know. I'm pretty sure that was what it was. And I remember when we were getting ready to go get in line for it, I smelled it and it was like, oh, that's kind of weird. It smells, whatever. Well, when I was on the ride, it was right underneath one of the loops. And like I smelled it as we were going upside down. And it was like, it just made me feel sick. I didn't throw up. I've never thrown up on a ride or anything. But it just like made me feel sick. And like every now and then, like if I go upside down, every now and then
You
I
remember
smell
that?
it. And it's like, oh, it was just so gross. Like,
you just reminded me. We went to Cedar Point. Myself, Tom, and Brandon. We all went to Cedar Point a little while back.
What was that last year?
Last year, yeah, sometime last year.
Yeah.
And we went there, and we got on. What the fuck was that ride that we got on like 8 or 10 fucking times?
Oh, the gatekeeper.
Gatekeeper. And no, not the Gatekeeper. The Gatekeeper's awesome. There's another one where it just spins and it goes side to side, like up and down.
Oh, the
Oh.
From side to side, and
Yeah,
it
the thing
spins.
that people fall off now.
that's not Gatekeeper.
No,
No,
it's not.
that-
It's not.
What is
I
it?
can't remember
It's-
the name of it.
It's not like it's,
It's
not
like
back
a
there.
swing.
it's like a swing. It swings back and forth.
Was Gatekeeper the one they got rid of disaster transport for?
No,
the Gatekeeper's at the front.
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
it
that's where
goes through the
disaster
gate.
transport.
Was it?
Well, it
It
was
might
like when
be.
you
It
walked
was
in,
by
it
the
was to the
Ferris
right
wheel.
there. Yeah, it was to the right
But-
when you first.
So
walked in.
we got on this ride like 10 fucking times, and you just reminded me of this. I
It
don't
was
know why.
so much fun. I don't
It was, but the thing about it is, after like the 6th or 7th time, my body went, "You should not get on this ride anymore because you're feeling sick. You might not think it now, but you are." And like after the 6th time, I went, "Ooh, man, I think like my stomach like flipped or something, guys," because like the entire time I was like, I want to puke. Like, you ever get that like puking like
Yeah.
like that not good, like I feel like puking but I'm not puking sensation.
Yeah.
Yep.
I felt that for most of the fucking day. Like, and that was the ride that we rode. Like that was the thing that we rode for like the beginning of the day. We rode that like a bunch of
It was-
times.
I love that ride.
I mean, I liked it too, but we did it too much. Like, too much of a good thing is
It was
bad.
It was funny because me and Brandon went on it like 2 more times after
after I stopped. After I stopped, they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna get back on it again." I was like,
there was like no line
"You guys,"
for it.
I
We're
was like,
fuck
"You
it.
guys go, man. I don't feel good right now. Like, I don't
That's
want to
funny.
puke."
What was
Should have just
what
threw
was-
up and made yourself feel better.
What was the question again?
I
It
don't.
was
I don't
so-
throw up.
Smells.
Let me just tell you right
That
now.
you
I
can't
don't
just-
throw up.
Yeah,
Yeah, you do. You
Well-
threw up when you're drunk.
Well, yeah, but that's different. I'm talking about.
I
like,
hate throwing
if,
up.
No. If I am sober
Yeah.
and like I'm sick, if I get the sensation of throwing up, like it'll come up and everything in me. When I was a kid, I had hepatitis B. I want to say it's whatever one you can pass by food. I got hepatitis when I was a kid, and I puked a lot.
Oh, okay.
Like a lot, to the point where I think like as a kid it traumatized me or something. But nowadays, like even when I'm younger and stuff like that, I refuse to throw up. Like it comes up and
And
I'm
it
like,
stops.
"Fuck you," and like I just push it back down. Like I'll stick around with that sensation before I fucking puke. I don't know why. Like it just bothers me.
I've
it
always
bothers
said
me so much.
if I throw up, I lose. Like I hate it. Like it's the worst.
Could you? I know that it has to do with smell, but I just want to hear the full question. It said something about-
Besides new car smell, what is the smell that you can't describe but really enjoy?
Old car smell.
I would have to say honestly, probably like right after it rains.
Oh, I like that. I
that's a
like
good
that
smell.
smell.
I
Yeah,
like
that is a
gar-
nice
also-
smell.
I also like garage.
Or right
smell.
before it rains. I like that
Yeah.
smell too.
It's just
Or like
smells
it's kind of like
like
gravelly.
fresh.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the
Like-
nitrates.
It's doing it. It's doing
I
it.
hear it. It's not
That's-
that one.
I think that it was mine.
It stopped.
Yeah, it's stuffed.
I definitely think. I definitely think it was mine
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, now we know.
because
and we'll
when
switch it.
you did that, it immediately stopped.
Okay. I'm hoping that's what it was.
Hopefully,
If it's yours, then we'll change
we'll just
number 2.
just hold it off to the side.
Yeah,
and
I don't want to
then-
throw it away.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
if that's not the one, then
Yeah.
we're out one more. You know, the funny thing is, the last time we recorded the podcast, we pinpointed to one. Like we knew it was
And then they
the
got
one,
taken apart.
and then we put everything away, and then like it wasn't even that day. Like 3 days later, Tom and I were talking. He's like, hey, did you ever put the broken one off to the side? And I went, oh no, I didn't. Fuck.
I definitely think that for me though, it has to do with that. I don't know what it is about the whole rain thing, but I think that it's just something calming about it.
Yeah, I like that smell. What about you, Darian? Did you say one?
Yeah,
I said a couple, but I also added a garage smell.
Garage smell.
Like my mom's garage. After like just going in there so many times, just the smell of it is like, oh okay, this is nice.
Gasoline.
Yeah,
Gas. As bad as it is, I also like the smell of gasoline. They should not make it appealing.
They shouldn't.
Yeah.
It's like Tide Pods.
Like they
It looks so edible.
Oh my god! Did you guys ever see that College Humor thing where they were like making fun?
Oh, that
of
was so funny! Like that was like a year before the whole Tide Pod.
It was
thing.
actually one of the best College Humor.
It was
videos
really good
because they don't make very good videos.
We need to
Some
stop
of them are
making
good.
these so
Some of them
appealing
are
to eat.
okay. That was hilarious, though.
I was about ready to fucking piss myself.
So sorry about
watching
the
it.
Tide Pod thing, but now we've made these that they taste like caramel. Wait, caramel? What? No, they shouldn't taste. Why are we doing this? Yeah, it's really good. You know, the last time we were doing the podcast a while back, and I played a video for us to listen, and it wasn't even on the thing, and we got a copyright infringement on it. Yeah, I know, right? I was so mad. I was
That's
so mad.
ridiculous.
It was we were commenting on it too, which is worse about it.
Yeah, that's
what
fair
video
use, and
was
you
it?
didn't
It
even
was
play it.
Yeah, it was the congressman asking Mark Zuckerberg questions.
Oh, that's right.
And it had like a
was it
whistle
from?
playing.
Who was it from?
Ah, fuck, I don't know, man. But it bugged me. But we got a copyright hit out of it, and I was very mad about it.
I mean, I'll just say right now, I'm against the concept of intellectual property. So, like,
I understand. Well, I
I understand why we have it, and it's wrong.
but I see it because like for me it's more about the little guy. It's more about
okay, I'll explain to you.
Yeah,
why
yeah,
I'm against it. We don't need to do it right now.
well, so for me specifically, it's about the little guy. I agree with you that big companies copywriting a bunch of things and like patenting a bunch of things can be like detrimental. But to me, like you have to think about like the Ford case between the guy with the wiper blade, the windshield wiper blades.
So
and Ford.
IP on average does more harm to the little guy than not. Okay, it's like so it's the concept that Friedrich Bastiat put forth of the seen and the unseen.
Let me preface by saying I also work at a place that might or might not have something to do with those things.
I deal with some IP in work as well.
Steve,
okay.
how much you read?
A lot.
Okay, like you're just throwing out names. I'm like, what the fuck is he talking?
So
The IP
the
is
principle,
intellectual property.
The
It
principle
took me a
of
minute to understand that.
The seen and the unseen is that there are consequences to any kind of a decision that you make on something like that.
By the way, I will not be commenting at all through all of this.
That's fine. You're not
Just
allowed. That's
I know
fine.
mainly because I just don't. I like I said, I work at a place that
I'm
might.
not-
I work at a
that's-
place that might or might not have anything at all to do with that, and I would rather not comment at all.
Yeah.
You're
so
fine.
I will be out of this conversation.
I'm gonna leave it at there are that's a law of physics. That's a natural law. There are consequences to everything. There's always an equal and opposite reaction to any action. Okay.
George Washington.
Fuck you. You know I hate those fucking memes. I hate those memes where you see the one like and it's like
Abraham Lincoln
yeah.
didn't invented the internet or some
everything
shit.
is
Abe
attributed
Lincoln.
to Abraham Lincoln.
Did
It's great.
your
Abe Lincoln
things go out?
says Cavs in Game 7.
No, I'm good.
Fuck, these
Did
are
yours?
These are battery. fucking
Oh
powered.
crap!
I forgot.
Do we want to pause it?
No.
I have to pee really bad.
I'll pause it.
Hey, what were we talking about? We paused.
Sorry, I
I
ate a
had to pee
combo.
really bad.
Oh, you're good. Hey, well, welcome back. We left because that was an ad. Oh yeah, that was an ad. That's what it was.
Oh, intellectual property. I'm not going to say any more about it. If you are interested in any of the theory behind
Message
any of this,
Steve.
No, don't. I mean, you
Don't.
can if you want. I mean, if you want to, that's fine.
At
But,
216-877.
You know, what if he was close? Like
That would be really funny.
You know what?
Oh, I got a story about that.
You know what
Too,
was
real
really
quick.
funny was the one time me, Joe, and Darian recorded a podcast at my house, and we were fucking with Carlo, and we were sending him a bunch of pictures and shit and gifts. So he started sending them back.
Wait, this was when you guys like blew up his phone. Like you sent a million of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
then-
hearing that
but
on
then-
the podcast.
So
oh, nice.
So so I sent him a text and I'm like, hey, we're recording the podcast. If you don't stop sending this fucking goddamn toast to my phone, I'm going to put your phone number on the podcast.
That's hilarious.
And then he's like, he just kept sending it. So what we did is I just said, and Carlo's phone number is 216, and then I had Joe put a beep there.
That's funny.
You know what's funny? The fact that I had stopped sending them, but what I had done is I had said like a quick one. Like what I did is my phone it's amazing. So what I can do is I can look up something and then just click it and it sends it. But so I did this. Tap 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 tap, and I typed it like 100 times. So like I kept tapping it. I was like looking at a video and I was just pressing the button as I was looking at a video. And then like Tom sent me the text, so I stopped and I locked my phone. But all those 100 messages hadn't gone through yet.
They just kept going.
Yeah, so they just kept
So,
going.
I remember.
And we also sent him a picture of
Oh my
like
god!
Donald Trump in a thong and like a really fucked
There's
up looking dick.
this really, it's really raunchy, but it's amazing. It's this Bruno Mars song, and it literally just goes like tin 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 tin, and then it's a man slapping a woman with their penis, like smack.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was
It
hilarious.
is the funniest thing ever.
It's strictly funny
Hold on.
because like it goes with the beat
It
of the
does.
Yes, it
song.
Oh
does.
my gosh.
All you hear is. Dun,
Do you
dun,
still
dun,
have
dun,
it, Darian?
I think I do.
Oh my god.
It's so great. It's like
I'm
the
good.
best.
I'm gonna
I'm
find
good.
this shit.
I'm
Hold
good.
on.
Yeah, he doesn't want to see it. It's fine.
I'm good.
No, you're gonna see it.
He's like, I'm gonna force this on you.
So,
it doesn't
I
matter
remember-
what you want.
I remember when I was in high
I'm
school.
gonna be Bill Cosby here right now.
Oh gosh. What? I left my drink out while I was in the bathroom. I remember one time when I was in
here.
high school.
And Darian, I really
we
don't
were
think
at
he
a
wants
party.
to see it.
I mean, I don't. Whatever. We were at a party one time, and one of the guys didn't show up. Oh dear. Heaven help us.
It matches it so good. It matches
Oh my
it so well. I'm sorry. It's so good. It's so good.
Oh my god. Even to the
Well, one of the guys didn't show up, and we found some way. This was like way before smartphones.
I'm
Stop
still hearing.
fucking dancing to it because I know
I'm still hearing it in my mind.
We found some way. Basically, I guess what we did was we just put the guy's phone number into the like to field of the text 1,000,000 times and hit send. So every time we would send that text and then just kept resending that text, we would put it in as many times as you could. We ended up sending him something like 700 text messages or something like that. And, like,
And he was in the
it
family
killed-
plan.
It killed his battery on his phone too. Like, I mean,
That's awesome.
It was
We-
ridiculous. He couldn't do anything. His phone just was constantly ringing from the text messages.
the one day that I was over here, we started sending our one. Well, I started sending our one friend that video over and over and over again.
And then he's like, this is really funny. I'm sending Claire. I'm sending Claire this video, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's hilarious! Send it to me. I'll start doing it." And then I started doing it, and he started doing it. And I think Joe was here, so we sent it to him, and he started sending them. And then there was a moment where she just goes,
She sent me a message and she's like, "Please stop sending this to me." I'm like, "Okay, I will." And then like a couple seconds later, I send it one more time, and that was the last time that I sent it.
That's hilarious.
but that's also the last time he ever talked to her in text too, which is really funny because he pulled up his phone, and then he pulled up her name, and that was the last thing he said to her.
I'll show you the scroll. Like you don't see anything. It's just all the
That's so
videos.
funny.
It's great.
Yeah, it's really good.
That was. I'm still laughing at
I'm
that.
I'm a horrible person. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm still laughing at that.
How did we get on? How did we get on?
Smack. I don't have no idea.
Oh, because we were talking about the one podcast where I
You-
put out his phone number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know what's funny? We kind of did the same thing to him and his girlfriend Nicole. Well, we
Yeah,
did
when
one
I
day-
was in Texas.
No, you were here.
No, I wasn't. I
Yeah,
was
you
in
were.
Texas because I texted you and I'm like, stop fucking tagging me and shit.
I'm pretty sure you were with Nicole when this happened
I was
because
not.
Joe and I were playing. We were sitting around playing the Dragon Ball Z the Dragon Ball Z card game,
Oh yeah.
and then we got bored. And that game is so long too. So we got bored for a minute. I'm gonna tell Joe we should play it again. We
Where
got
is
bored.
he, by the way?
He's at work. He works
Oh,
a
that
lot now.
sucks.
He works like today. He works like 2 to 11.
Yeah, he got stuck working on Saturdays.
Ah,
we're
like-
we're going to have to record one another day so we can have him on.
Like on a Friday or something. And we should have Steve on. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. But so Joe and I decided that we were gonna. Nicole, his girlfriend, likes to. Well, you're good. Likes to watch. Those are keys.
Oh, okay.
Likes to
those were
watch
my keys.
videos of like cooking videos and stuff like
Okay.
that. Like on like you know how like they make like recipes and shit.
Yeah.
So we found 2 recipe sites. And all we did was just tag her and Tom in them.
That's
And
hilarious.
the thing
Oh
is,
my
like,
God.
it was different videos too. And we just we tagged them in one, and I think they were like, "Oh, cool!" And then all of a sudden, they didn't understand the flood of messages that were coming in
That's
because it was like, ding, 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 ding. I'm pretty sure you were there because you were like Nicole and I were laying in bed, and then we saw all these messages.
No, I was definitely in Texas.
Okay, sure, whatever. I don't know. All I know is you guys were like, "Please stop sending us these videos," and it was amazing.
Do you guys follow me on Instagram at all?
I follow you on Instagram, but
you-
I'm not on Instagram.
Oh.
I usually I'll pop it up once in a while,
Did
but
you guys-
not that often.
Did you see?
Yes, I did.
my
That's pretty awesome.
latest,
I showed it to him.
Yeah. You do some crazy shit.
Thank
it's,
you.
It's awesome.
We were gonna talk about 3D printers, and we forgot
Oh,
all
yeah.
about it last episode. I need some
Oh,
coffee.
okay.
How much does a 3D printer normally
Okay,
run?
the one that I have the Monoprice Mini, and that was $200.
I might want to buy that just for a prank.
Should. It's pretty cool.
Just
I mean, like
just
you can do all kinds of stuff with
just
it.
print off like mini penises and mail them to somebody, just like a bunch of them.
That would be pretty worth it.
It would be.
It would take a long time to do each.
But
penis.
how much is
So,
how
like, I
much-
hate to transition from that to what I was going to talk about with the 3D printer.
Well, here at Designated Drinkers, we are very good at transitioning.
Oh yes,
subjects,
very.
So.
You guys are all very good at transitioning.
Yes.
So
we usually pull it back to the penis joke.
and
So I
bunch
understand
of
about
gay
your
boys.
I understand about your 3D printer, but let's go back to this throbbing cock thing.
yes, of course.
Robbing.
I just have an idea for a prank.
pulsating.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's why I was
That's
asking.
funny.
You know,
I was,
Joe
I was asking for a friend.
and I, you mentioned the 3D printer thing, and
Yeah.
we'll go back. I'm sorry.
No, you're
Fucking
fine. No, I
cutting
was just
you
I
off.
didn't know if you guys.
But Joe and I, we talked about making a board game.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
What would be? What's the idea behind it?
Don't say it on the podcast.
Yeah, I'll tell you after the podcast because it's actually something I legitimately want to
We'll
make.
make a GoFundMe account. You can help.
I don't know about that.
Well,
but
we'll
all-
see. Yeah.
Yeah, all I
No,
know is
for the
I think
podcast.
I actually legitimately think
cool.
it's a genuinely good idea. Where like I play a lot of board games,
Yeah.
and we played this game, and it gave me a great idea, and then I told him, and then he threw me a bunch of ideas too.
That's
I was
awesome.
like, this is awesome. So I'll tell you guys.
You
after
know
the
what game we
podcast.
should play after the podcast?
What?
Is
Not tonight. Man, it's fucking late.
I'm just talking
Yeah,
about
dude.
with Steve, man.
It's almost midnight.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
don't care. I'm not. In any
We
hurry.
can. That's fine. You
was-
talking about Jackbox game?
Yeah.
Have you heard of
You can
those?
play.
Yeah, I have. I've
Those are
not,
really
I've
fun.
not ever
They're so
played
much
any of
fun.
them.
Yeah, they're really fun. They're
Actually, no,
yeah.
never mind. I want to play Stardew Valley tonight.
Shut up.
If my
tell
wife
us.
wasn't asleep, I'd go home and play Stardew
mean,
Valley.
You still can.
I mean,
technically.
yeah.
The night is young, but you were saying 3D printer. You have the mono.
Oh, the Monoprice Mini.
Yeah.
It was when I bought it. It was $200 on Amazon.
But with
Oh,
your
wow.
with the projects,
I would expect it to
Oh
be
man.
more.
Okay, so like you guys saw that the building that I did recently. I did that for my Dungeons and Dragons game. I build a lot of different set pieces for my.
Do you
D&D
sell
game.
those too?
I have not sold any of them yet. One of my buddies told me he wants to buy this latest piece. Actually, that was for so in my game, I made the mistake of giving them a deck of many things.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's not smart.
So I gave that to
It
them.
breaks your game.
Two of them. I mean, it's all worked out good
Well,
so far. Actually.
Elaborate.
So is
please?
it?
Yeah, what is
Hold,
it?
I'll tell you in a minute. But so did you give them a whole deck?
I did.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like you're allowed to pull a card and it's
They
done.
just have a deck.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
And it's It's
I mean,
actually it's gotten to the point where they are terrified to draw anything else from it. So that's good.
Yeah, because of the fact that the more luck you have, the worse the deck gets.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely.
So for you two and for our listeners, in Dungeons and Dragons, you have a game breaking item, and you can have like a bunch. There's a bunch of them out there, but the one that shows up the most is called a deck of many things. And what happens with this deck? It's a regular deck of playing cards that you have in the real world, or you can have like tarot cards or anything really.
Yeah.
And what happens is
Or like
the
deck I
characters,
gave you.
yeah, anything. So the characters draw a card from the deck,
Okay.
and that card has a specific meaning in the game. So in the game itself, if you draw like let's say a jack of hearts, it is let's say
it corresponds.
it corresponds
to
to a card. So let's say it could be like the thief or something, and you get like 10,000 gold.
So like one in particular, this one has come back to bite me a couple times. Two of my guys drew the throne, which gives you a boost to your charisma. It gives you a boost to your persuasion skill, and also it gives you. It changes reality to somehow you inherit a small keep. Two of my guys drew that card.
Oh, nice.
How is
Yeah.
that bad?
Well,
Oh.
You inherit a small keep or fortress that is overrun with monsters, and you have to liberate it to be able to.
I wish you would have said
know.
that when you said you get a small keep.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty cool actually. So it worked out good.
It probably added to the
because
game.
it did. It gave them something to do while I was working on other stuff for them to do. So that was pretty cool. So the first one, two of them drew it the same night, and I was like, oh my gosh, okay, 2 keeps I gotta figure out here. So I figured them both out the next day. I got them both worked out. And thankfully, the one guy chose to go first. You know, they wanted to go clear his first, and it was closer by. So I actually worked it out with there was an. You guys played. Did anybody play against the Cult of the Reptile God? Did you ever play that one? So the old lady in the town there, my cousin, his character, he was like kind of spending a lot of time with the old woman who lived in town there. Not inappropriate, nothing inappropriate, nothing
Maybe.
untoward, but that I know.
It was all consensual.
Yeah, it was all consenting adults and all that. Consenting human and tiefling adults. So he kind of had been dealing with her. Well, he also drew a card that had something bad happen as well, where somebody, a character that he was involved with, died. And so what I did was I had that old woman die, and he inherited all of her holdings, and that included an old abandoned fortress
She died.
on
That's
some
awesome.
on some of the farmland. Yeah, so I had her die, and actually I drafted a will. I found an old medieval will, like an early Middle English will, online, and changed a bunch of the. I used basically
The
that as a
letters
template.
for it, yeah.
I used it as a template and changed some of the verbiage and stuff, and it actually was really cool. I printed it on paper that I aged.
One second.
Okay, so I printed it on aged
Yeah.
paper in coffee and all kinds of stuff, and dried it in the oven, and then ran it through the printer, printed that out on it. It was, and then sealed it with a wax
That's
seal.
awesome.
It was really cool.
Now, my question is like these things that you're building.
Yeah.
How long does that normally take?
Okay, so for that one, I built him just a little like small keep, and I actually built it so that the floor drops out of it, and I can put different insides in it. So
That's amazing.
So that one I did in about 2 days. It was pretty easy. I did a lot of it. I drew all the bricks on it by hand, and then I scored them with a knife, and then kind of went over them to give them like an indentation. It was a lot of texturing, and that took 2 days. It was real simple. The one that I posted on Instagram I think that you saw that one, right? It's about, I want to say it's probably about 3.5 to 4 feet by about 2.5 feet. It's on a board about that big, and that took about 3 to 6 months of not constant work on it.
Holy
but
shit.
It was pretty involved.
Dang.
I got to one point where I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do the rest of it. So what I did, I wanted to do a textured roof, and the texture, I wanted like shingles on the roof, and I kind of wanted it to feel like Rivendell in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And where like Rivendell has like those triangular shingles
Yeah.
and stuff. And I was like, how in the heck am I going to make all these shingles? That's a lot of freaking shingle. I was like, I could just print them out on a piece of paper, and then it'd be like a flat, like 2D look. That would look stupid. And like I was trying, like maybe I could find ribbon that's like a jagged, like nothing. I couldn't find anything that would work. And my brother-in-law bought a CNC laser, like an laser engraver.
Okay.
And I was like, dude, let me try that out on like paper and see what it'll do. I used it and cut out, oh gosh, probably about 1,800 shingles. I could only do, 1,800 strips of shingles. I could only do 6 strips at a time. So I'd have to run 6 through. It took about 8 minutes.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
When did you make this?
This year, I just finished it.
Man, I wish I would have known, because I could have got you like a shingle from my job. Because I work on a new construction site, so they were just laying around.
Well, like I needed them in that specific shape.
Well, yeah,
pattern.
but
pattern
if you had
itself.
an X-Acto knife, you
Yeah.
probably could have just cut it like that.
I could have cut them. I wanted it to be something that I could reproduce exactly and easily. So like I did them on the laser with the laser, and that worked so good. And then I painted it. I painted them like a copper color, and then I painted the patina, the copper like patina, where it's like greenish, that like coppery green color, like the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
I like dry brushed that over it, and it turned out so cool. It worked out amazing. Well, anyways, my buddy wants to buy this piece from me. This was his keep that he inherited, that he came in. So
he's totally in love with it.
oh, he was like, Steve, this is amazing.
Yeah.
He's like, I want it. I put a lot of work into it. I did a waterfall and like all this different stuff. I made a bunch of statues so again, it has a lot of like the Rivendell feel.
Yeah,
to it.
yeah.
So I did like a bunch of statues in it. And there's this project called Scan the World. And I think you can find all the STLs from it on a website called My Mini Factory, and it's like a STL repository where you can download files for 3D printing. But this project is called Scan the World, and basically what they do is they go take tons of pictures of like sculpture and like different art and stuff, and convert them into 3D modeling files.
That's awesome.
So that you can 3D print them. And
Yeah.
it's like for classrooms and like different stuff like that. So you can find, famous works of art, sculpture and stuff, and print them out and have like, so I've got some of the, different like Venus statues. I've got.
Now, my question with the 3D printer is, doesn't that take like a special kind of material that you have to print on?
It's like a plastic, right?
So it is a plastic. So there are different
like a
types.
plastic resin.
So like the one that I use right now, actually no, it's a solid plastic.
Oh,
So the
okay.
one that I use right now, I'm using a PLA. That's like the cheapest, the easiest to come by stuff. I can get it. There's a website called $5 Filament. I think they sell it by the kilogram, $5 a kilogram.
So $5.
Yeah, it's
$5
not bad.
holla.
Yeah, it's not bad.
How much like have you printed minis on it yet?
Yeah, I have.
Have
I
you done
showed
the
any
Have
of
you done the
minis?
Hero Forge one?
I did one of them. I didn't get real good results. I have to do a bunch of adjustments with my printer
Okay.
and stuff. But I do a lot of these like statues. Actually, if you look on my Instagram, there's some of the statues that I did. Actually, these
How long?
ghosts,
How
I did
long
those
does
on
it?
there.
How long does it actually take to
Nice.
print off?
Like these are probably about 25 to 30 minutes, something like that.
Oh wow.
Wow, that's quick.
I literally thought you were about to say like 2-3 hours.
So like that's one, like that statue I printed. That's from that Scan
You
the
you
World.
you had one. You had one that that was like you had a mistake, like one that was messed up, and you ended up like turning it into something else, right?
Which one was that?
But with Tom,
I
with,
did.
with
I've
the
done
deck of
that.
many things, it's completely like it can break your game before.
Yeah.
So like, there's the thing about being scared of that deck is the fact that you can pull a card, which it's called I think Death or something like that, and what happens is you draw it, and then all of a sudden, somebody or it's either like a monster like appears out of nowhere and then just tries to kill you,
Yeah.
and like will just try to murder you, and it's like if it'll to double your level apparently or something like that.
It's pretty cool.
And
There's
then-
a lot of like
yeah.
crazy.
And then
So basically, it's like that Red Button movie where they're like, press this button, get $1 million, but
Yeah.
somebody that you know dies.
Yeah, and the thing about it
was
is
that the box?
Box or
the
something.
box, yeah. And the thing about it is the thing is the monster's only gonna fight you, and if your friends join, another monster
appears.
appears to fight them.
That is another college humor thing that you have to watch.
No,
That-
that's a Rooster Teeth one.
Oh, that's Rooster
there's a
Teeth.
really
like-
funny Rooster Teeth
It's fucking hilarious.
movie called The Box,
Okay.
and it's really worth a watch. It's really worth a watch. It's quite funny, to tell you the truth.
He comes in and he tells him, if you press this button, you get $1 million, but somebody that you know dies. And he's like, oh, really? How many times can I push it? And he walks out and he's just like pushing it and tapping it. And
That's hilarious.
He keeps tapping it. Actually, here I'll show it to you real quick, and then we'll get back. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, this is Joe from the Designated Drinkers Podcast. If you like us, why don't you send us a review on iTunes or Podbean? Also, why don't you join our Facebook community? We post a lot of fun and inviting things that I know you'll enjoy. It's like listening to the podcast, but it's all the time on social media. So how can you not love something like that? Send us your comments. Send us questions we can use on the podcast. Also, send us videos. We love to be a part of your lives because you're a part of ours pretty much every Saturday, right? So, give it to your friends. Share it with your friends also. They'll probably like the podcast. In fact, I know they will. And as always, keep on drinking, guys. We love you.
That is by far one of my favorite Rooster Teeth videos
That
out there.
is hilarious.
It's so funny to me.
Bottle's about to fall.
It's by the way, for anybody, you should definitely watch. It's called The Button by Rooster Teeth. It's really worth the
It's worth a watch.
It's worth the watch. It's really funny. But I had something else I had wanted to bring up, and I totally just blanked on it, man.
I think it's just because it's getting so late.
Yeah, and I think with that though, like I want to say thank you, Steve, for joining us. It's
What about the questions?
we did the questions.
Do one more. Do one more.
Let's,
No. We didn't do the
The like icebreaker questions.
But that's
Firebreakers.
because I
We're gonna
don't
call
have
them
any more. I ran out of. There was 100 questions, and we essentially did all of them already. Here, I think I found one. Hang on. Okay. All right. You guys ready? Who wants to go first? We'll do. This will be our last thing, I guess.
Hold on.
All right. You want to
I
do a
will,
timer?
that's fine.
All right.
Let me get the timer out.
I'll start reading it. So you
do that.
You have time.
I got
It's a longer question.
Don't matter.
All right, Tom. If you could be a fly on the wall for any president, past or president, which president would that be?
Bill Clinton.
You're stuck on a deserted island with only three things.
Deserted?
Fuck you. With three things, what three things would you have?
Axe, flint. Probably a bow.
And porn. If you were anything out of the produce section, what would you be?
Out of the what?
Produce section?
Oh, produce section.
Vegetable.
Steak.
Produce. That's not produce.
That's my produce.
What,
I'm gonna go-
what animal might you have been in your past life?
A
A slug.
wolf.
If you could paint yourself in any color and not be seen as a psychopath, what color would that be?
Red.
If you could travel anywhere outside of this planet, where would you go and why?
Mars.
Why?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't
Because
know.
there's no human life there.
That we know of.
And no internet. Ugh. Ugh. No Stardew Valley.
And no
Ugh.
oxygen, so I just die.
All right. You want to go next, Darian? Or actually, Steve, you went next the last time. So you can go next this time. All right. And what animal would you want to bring with you on a journey through outer space?
Ooh, a fox.
A fox. If you have an itch on your butt, inside your ear, and up your nose at the same time, which would you scratch if you could only pick one?
Oh, that's terrible.
That's a butt scratch, 100%.
I'm gonna agree. The butt.
Yeah. Okay. Me too.
Yeah, agreed.
What Simpsons character are you?
Oh man, I've never watched.
Me neither, but it's
Simpsons.
one of the
Apu.
questions.
Mo.
What
I don't
child
want to get in
char-
trouble.
What child character would you be out of the movie Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?
Oh gosh. Mike, I guess.
I'd be the TV kid.
Yeah, that's Mike.
Oh, okay. Yeah, me
Mike
too.
TV.
Are you
No, that motherfucker got stretched the fuck out.
the good witch or the bad witch?
What? I guess good. I guess.
You accidentally forgot to put on socks and underwear, but only have time to put on one. Which do you
Socks.
choose?
I don't want blisters.
Ah, yeah,
Like,
okay.
That blows. Oh.
Yeah, okay, I got you. One more. I'm gonna ask you one more. Dance up close with somebody smelly or smell everyone in the room.
Oh no. That's terrible.
You gotta pick one.
Oh no. I guess somebody dance with somebody smelly.
Okay. All right, Darren, you ready? That was pretty. Those were actually some pretty good questions.
Those were.
All right. If you could travel back in time to any single year or event then back again only once, what would you choose and why?
Tearing down the wall, I guess.
The Berlin Wall.
Berlin Wall, yeah.
For Hasselhoff.
Just to build another one.
Yep. What kind of dog are you?
What kind of dog? The one that walks on four legs?
A chihuahua.
What are your favorite foods?
Tacos and pizza?
If you were a car, what would you be and why?
64 Impala?
Why?
Because it's badass.
What is your most treasured material possession?
I got a war statue.
What is your favorite cartoon, past or present?
Rick and Morty.
Nice. What section of the newspaper would you be?
Comics.
If you're part of the televised news, what would your role be? It's a pretty good question.
Providing fake news.
What flavored coffee are you?
I don't drink coffee.
That doesn't mean you're still not a flavor. How about turd?
Yeah, we'll go with turd.
How about basic?
Yeah. 'Cause I'm a basic bitch.
All right, let's see here. So after the coffee is 25. Yeah, here you go. I'm next, guys. I'm so excited.
All right, listeners, you can change channels now.
You like your men how you like your...
Coffee, black.
You like your work how you like your...
Coffee, black.
Black? You
What do you want most out of life?
Coffee.
Because it's black.
Comedy comes in threes. I had to say it one more time.
Win the lottery or earn your riches?
Win the lottery.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I will earn everything after that, like our president.
What state are you and why?
What state am I? Mm-hmm. I'm California because
Breaking
I'm afraid
away.
of cancer.
What?
I'm California because I'm afraid of cancer. California people are very afraid of cancer.
I thought it was. Never mind.
What instrument would you be?
What instrument would I be? I would like to say guitar, but I'm probably more like of a what is that? The flute.
Did you like 3? Did you do 3?
Give me like 2 more.
If you were a piece of office supplies, what would you be?
I'd be a desk.
More like a Walmart
It's not
desk.
office supplies.
Oh, office supply. I just heard office. I'd be a staple.
A staple? A staple.
A staple. Just one staple.
What,
Hang on, I can figure it out. Ah, god dang it. I was trying to figure out that noise, but fuck it.
Would you want to live where you vacation or just vacation there more often?
Oh, that's a tough question. I like vacationing to my home country, and I want to live there. But the country's kind of going to shit at the moment, so let me just say I would like to just vacation there.
Fair enough.
All those Venezuelans.
Yeah, all those Venezuelans coming and stealing our jobs. God darn it.
You guys need a Peruvian Donald Trump.
We need a Peruvian dude, I'm gonna send that to my dad. Dad, I'm gonna move to that country. I'm gonna say make Peru great again.
We're gonna build a wall.
We're gonna build a wall to keep all those gosh darn Venezuelans. We're gonna make Venezuela pay for it. Oh my god, I don't know if that's the name of the episode or the Pokemon one is the name of the episode.
Definitely a Peruvian Donald Trump.
Peruvian Donald Trump. Oh my gosh,
That's pretty good.
so good.
On that note,
Yeah. Well, anything else you want to plug? Anything you wanna talk about, Steve? That you
Not currently.
You know,
just
go ahead.
You know, when it gets here, if you are a parent, or if you're thinking about becoming a parent, or if maybe you accidentally became a parent,
all of the above.
we're going to be starting up here pretty soon the Grow Differently podcast.
Okay.
You can find it on
Send us-
Facebook, Twitter, iTunes. Grow Differently.
When it comes out,
Yeah.
let me know and then email me a
For sure.
email me an advert.
Yeah, can do.
We'll
Can
put
do.
it on the podcast a couple
Yeah,
times. and
definitely.
stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, most people. I mean, it might as well. It might be something to do.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
All right. Damn, I forgot what I was gonna say again. I had it on the tip of my tongue. Anyways, thank you for joining the
just like my
designated.
dick.
Sure. Thank you for joining the Designated Drinkers podcast. My name is Carlo,
Tom,
Darian.
and thank you again to our special guest.
Steve.
We are the Designated Drinkers.
keep on drinking.
Bye now.
We didn't do that last episode.
I know, that's what I was saying. You cut me off.
Well.
I've got 6 friends in the fridge to help me out. They told me they can't wait. I ought to meet my mouth. They'll get me through the evening now, baby, there's no doubt. You know they love to party, they want to twist and shout. I've got 6 friends in the fridge to help me out. Oh,
Looking to expand your playlist? Well, Fat Lowell's Radio has got you covered. Lose your religion with Reverend Jess and Deacon Sam over on The Church Absurd. Hear nerd culture get dissected on The Fickle Fanboy with RPM. Get drunk at the round table with the Designated Drinkers. Hear solid and interesting interviews on Unseriously Serious. Do you want to get involved? Send your rant over to the League of Infuriated Nerds. Also, check out the Fat Lowell's Radio Associated shows. Get your not safe for work talk radio fix on The Rob and Slim Show. Get some life advice from Jerry and Cal on From the Bottom. All of these shows and more await you at Fat Lowell's Radio. You can find us on SoundCloud, Facebook, Twitter, and various podcast apps, as well as our website, fatlowellsradio.us, HTTP, not HTTPS. We hope you enjoy the smorgasbord of shows we have prepared for you. Fat Lowell's Radio, stuff full of entertainment.